Hello and good morning from the Transportation and Ticket Center. So I am here today to ride all of the mountains in Magic Kingdom. Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain, but I'm not alone.
I'm here too.
Brennan's here too. So it is about 8 o'clock in the morning right now, and we are heading over to the monorail to take that over to Magic Kingdom. Looks like it's probably anticipated to get pretty busy. Also, we went to McDonald's and got some breakfast. All right, so we've made it to Magic Kingdom. It's a pretty overcast day today, but we are heading straight back to Splash Mountain. We go and ride that, and then probably Thunder Mountain. And it looks like Christmas has finally gone away in Magic Kingdom. It is back to just regular Main Street USA, and it looks beautiful. It's very early. It is 8 o'clock in the morning. Right now the park literally just opened. We would have been here at park opening, but there was a significant amount of delays on the monorail. The idea was to come to Magic Kingdom today at rope drop, specifically so we could avoid the crowds. It's a little bit crowded today, though, sort of surprisingly. All right, so we're heading into Adventureland right now, just to go all the way back to Splash Mountain, probably like a lot of these people, presumably. Okay, it's a little bit quieter, heading back into Adventureland, but Splash Mountain has been very busy, obviously because it is closing in just a few days, permanently, to be replaced by Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
I'm actually really excited for Tiana's Bayou Adventure.
Oh, I think it's going to be incredibly cool, but
I think it's going to look beautiful. I'm going to be disappointed if it doesn't look absolutely stunning.
Splash Mountain is as old as I am, from 1992. Recently, Universal closed an entire land that was about 30 years old, and now Disney's closing a ride that's 30 years old. What's wrong with being 30 years old? I'm sad.
I don't know. I'll let you know next year.
I wonder when they're going to be putting up the walls around Splash Mountain. I imagine pretty immediately, probably. But what will this area look like? Will this wooden fence be here? Will we be able to see any of what Splash Mountain used to be, or will they refurbish and I guess transition this into Tiana's Bayou Adventure without walls? I mean, there's going to be walls and scaffolding right here easily. So we're doing the mountain challenge today, which applies to we're doing every single mountain, not really in a particular amount of time. It would have been fun to do it within an hour, but I don't think we're going to be able to accomplish that.
And
that's
also
too
just
ambitious.
at Magic Kingdom.
Oh yeah, and just a Magic Kingdom. So it's posting a 15-minute wait right now for Splash Mountain. And this is the last time that we're going to be able to ride it. Posting a 15-minute wait, like I said. Splash Mountain is a turbulent flume adventure with high speeds, heights, and sudden drops and stops. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Are you excited? I imagine that this entire area is probably going to be closed. They'll be putting walls just right there at the train station because this area just would not need to be open otherwise. So far the line's moving very well. Hello. So we should be hopefully inside in just a matter of minutes. I thought I'd have a little bit more time to take in all of the details of the queue. And I'm imagining that the layout of the queue, and I probably mentioned this the last time that I did this, will probably remain the same for the most part without all of these extraneous details. We might actually get to do this in a pretty reasonable amount of time. And I know that Thunder Mountain was posting a 10-minute wait, so that's pretty cool. All right, we're heading inside Splash Mountain. 50-foot plunge ahead. It's a little bit hard to take in all of the details in here, especially right now. I'm sure there's a little bit more of a coherent, cohesive walkthrough online. This is an iconic sign right here. You may get wet. I'm trying to just take all this in, but we're moving through the line a lot faster than I anticipated us moving through this line. And just because it's so overcast, it's so backlit, and it's sort of hard to see all the details. The time of day that we're here, which is again about 8:30 in the morning, is sort of impacting just the visibility, I suppose, of the queue. Just how everything is a little bit backlit and silhouetted. But the point was to come and do this so that there would not be a line, but it's just so overcast, and it's just throwing me off a good amount. Just one last look down at the loading platform. All the way up here, there's just so many details on this line. Some of it's pretty easy to see. And I did wonder where all these pictures are going to end up just here over here. But we've made it here in pretty much just like 5 minutes. It did not take very long whatsoever. Making the front of the line for Splash Mountain. It's awesome. Attention, last chance to exit. Riding all the way down. So we are going to be in row 8. So our last ride on Splash Mountain. I don't think I've ever noticed this massive tree before in the queue. So much to appreciate. I'm sure the skeleton of this will probably remain because again the turnaround for Tiana's Bayou Adventure is pretty tight. It's opening up next year. Here we go. We are Splash Mountain one final time. So I'm interested because this is the exit for the train. It has to stay open still, right? Woo! There it is. Chickapin Hill.
What do you guys think it's like to
The Briars are on the other side and the bridge. We'll get there in just a second. It's probably going to be a little bit too backlit to showcase anything, but we'll see. You can sort of see some details up in the dust over there. It's pretty cool. You trying to take it on the memories while you can?
Yeah.
Cool. My phone fell out of my pocket. That's not good. Over there is Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, which is somewhat hard to see.
I was looking backstage.
Oh no, backstage. There's the view down there. I think it's the first time I've actually heard like the full loop of the song back there. That's the main drop. This is Slipin' Falls. Not bad. So far so good, right?
So far.
Okay. I've filmed this ride so many times. So I don't know how much is going to be included in the This has always been one of my favorite animatronics. Look at this guy.
Being chased by a rare fox and a rare bear. As usual. There goes Gorilla.
One of my favorite moments in any dark ride. There's so many different animatronic effects that are. I was going to say that they're not working the other day, that are working now. Maybe not all of them, but some of them. Really?
Red Bear, you done been sticking your nose in the wrong laughing place this time for sure.
There's supposed to be some water effects here. So maybe not all of the effects that weren't working the other day are working now. This is the laughing place. One final look at it.
No, Red Fox, let me go.
I'm going to the stop for sure, Red Rabbit. Guess I should do it.
What are you doing, man?
End up Rare Fox's lair one final time.
This one is yours. And where do you see that old rare rabbit?
Okay, the camera got a little blown out, but we did it. We rode Splash Mountain. You didn't get too wet. I got a little bit wet. This is our last time riding this portion. It is, man. Imagine that this area will be not visible because you can usually turn around, look over at it from way up there. I don't know if that waterfall will still be here, but we'll see. It does look pretty nice on the exterior. Oh, there's a drain. I'm sure that'll be blocked out easily.
Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-yay. Home sweet home is the lesson today. Don't you worry, Mr. Bluebird. I learned my lesson.
And there's Mr. Bluebird. An exit sign to exit Splash Mountain. That was nice. That was a fun final little ride on Splash Mountain. And you can't open up your mouth without a song popping right out of it. That's a zippity-doo-dah day. If Brer Rabbit ain't changed his ways, he'll meet up with more troubles one of these days. And there it was. The road to Splash Mountain, Brennan.
You did.
You did.
I feel good about it.
Yeah. That only took like 15 minutes, actually. And this is the line now, which is not much longer, but it's definitely outside. Now we're heading down to the store, which does not have any Splash Mountain merchandise. It pretty much disappeared as soon as they announced that this was going away. Unfortunately, I think I do have a Splash Mountain shirt somewhere. Might be a little bit tight now, but I do have a Splash Mountain shirt. Because I'm 30 and old and need to be replaced and refurbished, apparently.
You're gonna upset a lot of people in the comments.
Well, I'm upset too. So join the party. I'm glad that we actually got to do this because the line is probably going to be completely filled within the next couple hours or so, I'd imagine. But there it is, the queue for Splash Mountain. Now we're head over to Thunder Mountain. There are restrooms over here, so this portion of the area might stay open just for that particular reason. But I don't know. Brennan's yawning.
Sorry.
Why are you yawning?
We woke up at 6.
Yeah, we woke up pretty early. I've always wanted to be up there in the queue, which is where you turn to go down the ramp as the train pulls into the station, and I don't think that it's ever happened, unfortunately. I'm trying to take as many pictures and videos as I can as well. There's the Laugh and Place play area right over there, which I actually got to explore that once when there was nobody in there at all. It was like the very end of the night, so that was pretty cool. And again, this is the station all the way up there for the train, so that'll have to stay open. Even details like this that I've never noticed before, just outside of the entrance to Splash Mountain. And then there's the Briar Patch, which of course this never reopened, but I wanted to at least try to showcase what's in the windows before this goes away. So there's some fruits in this window, and vegetables, various produces. And this is Splash Mountain back over here, and then the main Splash Mountain sign, which I've always thought was very interesting. Just all of the furniture just stacked on top of each other, and there's Brer Rabbit all the way up at the top. Alright, so Big Thunder Mountain is posting a 25-minute wait. The line's sort of extending outside, so we're gonna go and get line for this now before it gets longer. So we're still not technically intending to do a hour mountain challenge, but we might succeed in that just because of how fast we're moving through all of these rides. Splash Mountain only took 15 minutes to get on and ride, pretty much.
So if we did a full mountain challenge, like we go to Animal Kingdom and did like Mount Everest, what all would you consider a full Disney mountain challenge?
I would say it has to have mountain in the name, so we're not doing Seven Dwarfs Mine Train for that reason. We're doing the main mountains in Magic Kingdom, which we won't be able to do anymore because this is going to be Tiana's Bayou adventure. It's not going to be a mountain anymore.
But Expedition Everest is
Legend of the Forbidden Mountain, yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize its entire government name. That was on me.
I've also been too excited to eat my bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle because we all know that the best way to start the day is with the bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle. And I'm also trying to take into not into consideration, just try to record all perspectives of Splash Mountain before it goes away. And just the more that we talk about it, it's hard to imagine really what they're going to be changing about this in terms of the aesthetic. So you're not riding the train today. We thought about it, but that'll have to be its own for some point in the future because today is just about the mountains and getting to ride all of them one final time together as a mountain challenge. Sort of. This has only taken, honestly, just a couple minutes to make it to this point of the line, so we are getting very close right now. I'm not watching the riverboat go by. Here comes the train. We actually might do this in an hour, which is kind of interesting to me, especially if you're not really thinking that we would or planning on it. Which is hard when you consider it a challenge, I guess, right? I don't know. What's the challenge part of it? Just riding on the mountains? I think about this whenever I get in line for this, but I imagine that at some point a lot of this actually worked, just the kinetics of the attraction, because sometimes the water isn't running over there, but this looks like it would have worked at some point, but I don't know. We're getting close. Okay, we're heading down to the load station. It only took about, I want to say 10 minutes, maybe, maximum. So somehow, we are going to be in row number 1 on Thunder Mountain. What was that? We were in the back row on Splash Mountain, and now we're in the front row for Thunder Mountain. Woohoo! Woohoo! Yay! Ah! Oh god, I'm excited to ride the train again, man. It's like this part right here in particular, getting to ride by this scene on the train. And of course riding by Tron. Hi, Brennan.
Hi.
Have you missed the train too?
It was so nice seeing it go through Splash Mountain.
It was. It would have been cool to see it going by here too, right?
But I am excited to go ride the train again.
Woohoo! Wee! This is exhilarating. Ha-ha! Whoa! Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Sorry, I'm squishing. This is sort of the opposite part of the front. It's taking so long to lean over this hill. Just so gradually. Finally, got speed. So slow. Woohoo! Wee! There's a lot about this that I've never noticed before this ride. There's so many different like fossils and stuff. That one's kind of obvious. All of the dynamite and bones and just mining car equipment.
Dynamite and bones.
Yeah, that was my middle school pop punk band.
Good one.
Thank you. There's the train. It's so tempting and taunting. It's been back for almost a month now and we still have not ridden it. But we want it to be special, you know? Right? I do.
I mean, I do too, yeah.
Yeah.
I love the train.
Well, I didn't know how many times I was going to come back and ride Splash Mountain over there because I didn't know if I was going to be doing like a mountain challenge on my own and then do like the train and Splash Mountain with you. But then you were like, I want to do the mountain challenge. So now here we are doing the mountain challenge. Are you excited for what's beyond Big Thunder Mountain, Brennan?
What?
The D23 announcement of just like, we may or may not build things in between Big Thunder Mountain and Haunted Mansion.
Well, they didn't seem committed to it, so I'm not committed to it.
Wow. So we're going over to Space Mountain, but I wanted to go back over to the Briar Patch just to film the windows over there that I didn't before we wanted to hop in line for Big Thunder Mountain. And it still has not been an hour between getting in line for Splash Mountain to now. It's still been less than an hour, so we might actually still do this. We won't complete all 3 rides, but we might get in line over at Space Mountain by the time it's been around an hour. So this is another one of the windows over here by the Briar Patch that I just wanted to hook my camera into before I'm not able to anymore, or they replace it with something else. It's a bummer that this never reopened, but I guess I get why. They didn't have any more merchandise, or they sold it all. So this is the last time that we're going to be able to see this view of Splash Mountain and Thunder Mountain. Again, I'm very interested to see just what they do with the walls over here and how they set that up, if they're going to be all the way out here, if they're going to be back over there by the train, which I imagine that they have to be. I don't know. So because they just reopened the train, they're going to have to keep it open. I don't know if they're going to be walling up the bathrooms, though, more specifically. And just how they retheme this, they might just sort of take the briars down. We'll see, but there's one more window of the Briar Patch before we head over to Space Mountain to complete our challenge today. Again, just some more produce. Okay, let's go. I thought that this used to be the exit of the train, but they have a rope up right here, so now I don't know where the train does exit, and it does make sense that this entire area would be closed off, so I suppose we'll see in just a few days. This is the view that I was talking about when we were down there, so there will definitely be walls here where you will not be able to see just sort of what work they're doing on Space Mountain, Splash Mountain. This is sad. and then one final sort of photo opportunity over here. So I'd imagine that this was probably put here because people did not know where the entrance of Splash Mountain was, because it's sort of tucked away in the very back of Frontierland. So I could be wrong, but I'd imagine that that definitely helps in that sense. But we just took a picture in front of this, and now we are heading over to Space Mountain. So we're heading through Frontierland on the way back over to, well, I guess over to the hub, and then over to Tomorrowland. There's some country bears up there, and it's finally getting bright out after being just completely overcast and foggy earlier. This is sort of one of the benefits of getting here early in the morning, so you can ride the trolley to the front of the hub. That's cool. The crowd levels are pretty nice heading into Tomorrowland. I was curious why Magic Kingdom opened up at 8 o'clock today. It's usually opening up at 9 o'clock, but for whatever reason today it is an 8 o'clock opening, and that has been very advantageous for us. I don't know how the people mover is stopped. Look at how pleasant this is. There's, I'm not gonna say nobody, but there's a limited amount of people over here. It might not be the same over at Space Mountain. So it's about 9:30 in the morning right now. We got in line over at Splash Mountain around 8:30 in the morning. So by the time we get in line, it'll probably been around an hour, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. I wasn't really paying attention to the time, but how cool is that? All right, so Space Mountain is posting a 40-minute wait right now. Let's see if that is accurate. This is pretty interesting because I continually forget that I'm not able to record on this anymore, which I didn't before other than the launch tunnel, pretty much, but it's a different change, isn't it? So we walked through the line, and it took a little while just to walk, but I do not anticipate this being a 40-minute wait whatsoever. Either side. There's really not much of a wait at all. Okay, that only took about 15 minutes to get to the low platform. Gonna go put the camera away and enjoy Space Mountain. We rode Space Mountain and we sat on the back. We've been lucking out with our seat selections today. So it is about 10 o'clock in the morning. Right now, you totally couldn't see my watch at all just then. But we did it. We completed all 3 mountains at Magic Kingdom comfortably. Just in the first couple hours the park was open. So that was pretty much what we came to Magic Kingdom to do today. We accomplished our challenge, and I guess now we're going home. So we've made a decision. We are going to be riding the train, Vernon, because it's only 10 o'clock in the morning, and why wouldn't we ride the train? So we're going to go back to Main Street, and we're going to take the train just one time around the park. Tron has been consistently testing over here, and of course when I decide to record, it's not testing. But this area should be opening up hopefully pretty soon. They're redoing, I think, the entire, what used to be the Light and Power company building right over here. So we're gonna be taking the train, we're gonna be going through Tron. This is going to be fun. Oh, there's Tron right there. We were just going to have today be about our mountain challenge, but how can we not ride the train? It is so comfortably not busy at the moment. We've accomplished what we came here to do, again, which was the challenge, and it's so early in the morning. It sounds like the Magical Friendship Fair is currently going on right now, as opposed to the Royal Friendship Fair, which I'm not incredibly sure what the difference is in that particular show.
One's royal.
And then one's magical. So the plan is to take one trip around Magic Kingdom, one full trip aboard the Walt Disney World Railroad from Main Street and then concluding at Main Street. So this will be Brennan's first time up on the train station in 3 years. Isn't that crazy? Just having not been able to go up there at all this entire time. And there's the train right there. Perfectly on time. Are you ready? Hooray! We're riding the train. We'll come back and take some pictures up here probably. There's no line at the moment. When I was here the other day, the line wrapped all the way around outside. Let's see. Are we gonna be able to make it onto this next train? Hopefully. Look at all of this. It's so cool.
Welcome aboard, folks. We're beginning a grand circle tour of the Magic Kingdom.
Yay.
With stops along the way in Frontierland and Fantasyland. Sit tight and keep your hands, arms, feet, and legs well inside the train. We're currently departing Main Street Station. And if you're missing those friendly faces already, not to worry. On this train, it's never goodbye. It's always see you real soon. See, there was a time not so long ago that I was just a young fella on Main Street with a balloon in my hand and a wish in my heart that someday I'd be the conductor of this train. I hope you packed a compass because that, folks, is the sound of adventure. Adventureland, I should say. Whether navigating wild jungle rivers, swashbuckling with jolly buccaneers, or even just scaling a towering treehouse, there's always plenty to explore here in Adventureland. Now, if you're more the rootin' tootin' type, then partner, saddle up, cause this here's Frontierland, home to cowpokes, campfires, and country bears, this outpost is full of tall tales and even taller mountains. Yonder is Big Thunder Mountain and its runaway mine trains, while just ahead is Splash Mountain, where you'll find Brer Rabbit in his laughing place. Be sure to say howdy. Those critters love when folks drop in.
We're gonna go through the Splash Mountain tunnel. I have to change that narration pretty immediately.
We've reached Frontierland Station, everyone, so sit tight and hold those horses until we come to a complete stop. If you're disembarking, please carry your strollers all the way off the platform before we forward, and that will make room for any new buses.
So we can hear Zippy Doo Dah playing behind us. We're in the very back row, the absolute back row of the train. This is the tunnel right here. And we're about to continue on to the next station, which is Fantasyland. And here's Zippy Doo Dah behind us. We're about to start moving in just a second. We're moving.
Howdy, folks! If you're just joining us, a hearty welcome aboard. We're heading for our next stop, Fantasyland, before carrying on to Main Street, USA. Everybody stay seated and keep your hands and arms, feet and legs safely inside the train. And as always, keep an eye on your little
They're going to be putting up walls here.
Para su seguridad, permanezca
They very much
sentado
so
y
could.
mantenga. Those of you who've been riding with me for a spell already know how much I love minding this railroad. But for those times I'm fixing for something a bit wilder, Big Thunder Mountain is the place. Because there, the trains have a mind of their own.
Excited to go by. But I was excited to go by before.
Look at this, how cool. I have not seen this view in so long.
God, I missed that. There goes the train right there. We're crossing this bridge, which I saw so many times. Maybe not so many times, but a lot from the riverboats.
The change in scenery means we've left the rattle and rumble of that old gold mine behind and entered my favorite leg of the journey. Lush wilderness, calm waters, and untamed beauty. Folks, we're in nature's wonderland. Isn't it something? Just think of the extraordinary things to see and do in these woods. Hiking trails, bird calls, fireflies, and starry nights. Setting out for adventure at sunrise and telling the tale around a campfire that night. Considering how wonderful things are out here, I'm fortunate that some of my closest friends call it home. That village is a truly special place.
This is the area that could be Encanto and Coco and for villains.
Travelers, children of all ages, we're coming down the track and headed straight for the stupendous, the sensational, the spectacularific Fantasyland Storybook Circus. This is the place to soar with Dumbo or join Goofy in his stunt plane for some airborne acrobatics. For those disembarking, please watch your step and thanks for traveling with us.
So I guess I said we were sitting in the very back row, but there's technically this tiny little seat right here, but I don't know if I should count it as the back row. Should I?
Why not?
I don't know. What's the point of this tiny little seat just right here? Okay, so I moved back to the very back.
Looks like we're on our way, and I'm so glad to have you with us. The next leg of our journey takes us to Main Street, USA. We'll head for Frontierland after that. Next up is a place that's always ahead of the curve, and not just because we're on a straightaway. Our metropolis of mechanical marvels, Tomorrowland.
This is what I've been the most excited about. I don't want to speak for Brennan, but I'm imagining her as well. Riding the train right here, past the Barnstormer and underneath Tron.
As you know, I love this railroad about as much as a songbird loves the morning. But I'm still awed by the rockets in Spaceport 75. The technology that...
Unidentified users detected in upload conduit area. Scanning. Calculating. Locomotive maintaining trajectory. Intervention not required.
And that's the secret that makes it possible. So simple once you hear it, right? Yes, sirree, in this place of boundless optimism, the possibilities are endless. You might say the sky's the limit. But even that is no obstacle.
Wow. Oh, there it went. Right there. Cool.
Now we're going underneath the people mover. That was incredibly cool. Now we're passing by Space Mountain. And then returning to the Main Street USA station. We were just back here just a minute ago. There's the monorail way over there. And the people mover. And I'm going to try to find the clip because I intentionally took this video right before the train closed 4 years ago. 4 years ago? I think it was 4 years ago. It was a long time ago that the train closed, but I took this clip as we were bypassing the original walkway in between Space Mountain and the circus, just imagining what it was going to look like in the future, and now it's very different. Now it's just a tunnel, sort of.
We're now approaching our most charming destination, Main Street, USA. A place where the only thing sweeter than the townsfolk is the treats. After our stop, we'll be heading for Frontierland, followed by a visit to Fantasyland. What say we give our fellow travelers a friendly wave hello? This is Main Street Station after all. Welcome to Main Street, USA.
He did it.
Once again, please remain completely seated until the train has come to a complete stop, and I give the magic words, all clear.
And it's where we sat right back there, myself in that tiny little seat, and we just came from that direction. We did it, we rode the train for the first time, and I did look it up. In 4 years. So we exited down the ramp down here, and we could go back up the stairs to maybe take a couple pictures from the train station, which is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go back up and take a quick selfie and then head out from here. Here we are on the top of the train station. Isn't it nice? Okay, nice. But it's such a nice, unique perspective of this. Oh, and then of course there are the Dapper Dans coming down Main Street on the trolley, singing their songs and medleys. I'm so glad that we finally did that, getting to see Tron from the train. That was so cool. They're going to be starting previews soon. They've announced the opening date, April 4th, and then the fireworks are coming back April 3rd. There's a lot that's happening, not even at Magic Kingdom, but at Disney World and at Universal.
End of a lot of eras, but a beginning of a lot of new ones.
Thank you for your input. There's the train right there that we just got off of. And we're heading back to the car. We did so much today in such a short amount of time. The locomotive that we were on was the Lily Bell, which I didn't pay attention to. That was the Lily Bell.
Yeah.
This is sort of interesting. There's no monorail service back to the transportation and ticket center, so we have to take the resort monorail to get back over there. I'm continually reaffirmed that early mornings at Magic Kingdom are the best. We always have the absolute, just most incredible time.
I agree.
Coming here early.
Like, you have to sacrifice sleeping, waking up early, but honestly, like, once you're awake and going, thank you, train. It's great. And you get to come home. I'm gonna go take a nap.
So we just were up on the train station. There's a monorail. What a fun trip to Magic Kingdom that was. Hey, Brennan, you're taking up all the space. Save some room for the rest of us. I don't know what we're doing. So we've made it back to the transportation and ticket center after just barely a few hours, comfortably, mind you, in Magic Kingdom, riding rides and enjoying some stuff for the very last time and for the first time. So that was our morning at Magic Kingdom to do the mountain challenge, riding Splash Mountain, Thunder Mountain, and Space Mountain, all within the span of about an hour, which was quite a feat.
Really a challenge. It was
Not
just
really.
3 rides, but it
But
was
you
cool.
call it the mountain challenge. It makes it more fun and exciting, and to have a bit more of a specific parameter with that would have been more fun. But today was really mostly about just riding Splash Mountain one last time, and then surprisingly riding the train for the first time, which was so cool. I'm so glad that we got to do that. I've been so jealous of everybody else getting to ride it for the past month, and we finally did it.
We got to ride under Tron cycling. It was really cool.
That was really cool. So thank you for hanging out with us today. I will see you soon. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.
Goodbye.